JetBlue Captain Clayton Osbon is now being held without bail in Amarillo, Texas, 1 week after his mid-air breakdown forced his co-pilot to make an emergency landing. Senior correspondent John Miller is the story of Osbon's first court appearance. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Clayton Frederick Osbon did not say much at yesterday's hearing, maybe a couple of words, but the pictures tell a story of a troubled man surrounded by a small group of family, friends, and co-workers. This is the first we've seen of Clayton Osbon since he was taken away from his own plane. FBI agents brought Osbon out of the Northwest Texas hospital where he's been undergoing psychiatric tests. His wife, Connie, was comforted by friends as her husband was put into an SUV. Captain Osbon was on his way to his first court appearance where he'd be formally presented with federal charges that he interfered with his own flight crew. Along with his wife, fellow JetBlue employees were in court for the 10-minute hearing. Osbon spoke briefly just to say he understood the charges against him. A magistrate will decide on Thursday whether to release Osbon on bail. Prosecutors have requested that Osbon remain in jail because of the violent nature of his crime, adding, "There are no conditions of release which will reasonably assure the safety of any other person and the community." If convicted, Osbon faces up to 20 years in prison.
JetBlue 191, we're going to have to go into Amarillo. Declare an emergency at this time. We're going to need priority to get into Amarillo, and we're going to need a few minutes to get everything straightened out.
Sources tell CBS News that doctors have not yet given a conclusive medical opinion to investigators or to JetBlue as to what caused the pilot's bizarre behavior in the cockpit or in the cabin, where he had to be subdued with the help of passengers. That will be a key factor in determining whether Osbon makes bail.
So here's the question: what happens on Thursday?
Well, Thursday is going to be, I guess, a much more interesting day than yesterday, because that's when the government has to put its cards on the table and say, this is why we think he should or shouldn't be released. Right now they're saying he shouldn't be released. Here's why we think he's dangerous. And the defense will likely have to counter with, here's what we learned from the doctors at the hospital. This is why we think he's okay. Under normal standards, he is a great candidate for bail, because the standard is he likely to commit the same crime again? Is he a danger to others? And short of him getting into an airplane and having this problem continue, I think that's unlikely. Does he have roots in the community? So I think Thursday we will probably get our first glimpse at what the doctors at that hospital determined went wrong with him.
When will we have access to what was said in the voice recorder?
It'll be a long time for us, because that will be, the government will consider that evidence. Now, if there's a trial, they'll play that there. That will be what goes along with the co-pilot's testimony. I doubt, as I sit here right now, projecting forward, given the medical issues here, that this will ever go to trial.
You think there'll be some sort of a settlement, or that they're just,
well,
or because of what we find out medically, we may not even...
I think have a defense.
I think you hit it there, which is if they can make a good enough case that A, this was a medical problem, and that B, he didn't know right from wrong, I think these charges go away.
They go away.